Mike Bohn here at King's MMA with Beneil Dariush. And Beneil, I was going to ask how you're feeling, but I just saw you train and see you kicking well and everything. Fair to say you're back to 100%?
Yeah, I told the UFC like 6 weeks ago I'm ready to fight end of August or September. I've been training and kicking now for a good 4 or 5 weeks.
How hard was the recovery up to that point, though? Like, was it a difficult one? Did you just have to be patient with it? How would you describe it?
So I like training like all the time, but I had to do physical therapy now all the time. And it was so tiring, it would take away from my training. That part was really frustrating. Going to PT every day and doing the same stupid moves over and over again. It was, it was draining. That's the best way to put it. So I'm happy to be over physical therapy and just be able to train like morning, night, look at technique and actually be able to drill it instead of sitting and watching it. So it's nice to be back.
Is it one of those injuries where you have to regain some trust in it, and the more you have training time, the more you know it can be stable and you can go through a real camp and a fight and everything?
Yeah. So in the beginning, it was clear. Like if I slip, I'm in trouble. If I get kicked there, I'm in trouble. And then a couple of months passed. We're like, okay, we can push it a little bit more, and then again push it a little bit more. It was the stability was the worst thing. I didn't feel stable until like I said 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Interesting. So you let the UFC know that you're ready to go. What was their response?
Okay, sounds good. We'll get back to you.
Still waiting.
Yeah. There's the situation with Charles right now. He's not the champion. He wants to fight Conor. I think the UFC wants to set up Islam and Charles. And so it puts me kind of in limbo. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. If Charles and Islam does get set up, a guy like Dustin Poirier makes a lot of sense, I think. I'd love to fight him. I know he was talking about fighting in August. I mean, that'd be great. August, September, whatever. We can go. We don't have to go to Abu Dhabi. I can even go to Florida if they want. I don't mind. So that's one thing I had in mind. But I don't know, because what if Charles doesn't take the fight? He keeps saying no. What then? Do I still get Islam? Because for me, ideally, I want to fight the best guys in the division. And no disrespect to Dustin Poirier. I just think Islam right now is in his prime, and he's feeling himself. And I think with Dustin, how everything's been going, a little bit of the fire has been taken out under him. So I really want the Islam fight first. That would be like ideal. Charles, Islam, and then it goes to Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, guys like that.
Do you think if they can't work out things with Charles, is there an outside possibility you and Islam, if that did happen, it would be for that vacant belt?
People keep putting this in my head, and it sounds amazing, right? Like I can't complain about that. It sounds amazing. I'll go to Abu Dhabi. I'll do whatever they want. I don't mind. It's just I don't want to get ahead of myself, and then it doesn't happen and get disappointed. But right now, in my mind, Charles and Islam is going to happen. In my mind, it's going to happen. But I know nothing's been signed. No word's been given yet.
Yeah, no, I've heard the same. So I think we'll ultimately see what happens there. But if you do look at the rankings, I think the Poirier one does make a lot of sense. He's tweeting every day, I want to fight. I think he's in a similar position to you. Like, he's told the UFC for months he just wants something, and now he's just waiting.
Yeah. See, that's the tricky part about being in the top 10 or top 5 or whatever. There's less people to fight with. And a lot of times the top 5 only want to fight the top 5. So it's a little bit tricky. I get it. I just figured those are the fights that make sense. But I want to talk to the UFC, see what they have in mind too, what they're thinking. Because they're not really being clear with me right now.
Yeah. If Charles and Islam does happen, how do you think that goes? I know you've trained for both guys. You've been booked to fight both guys, and they haven't materialized. But how do you think that one goes down?
The issue is going to be distance, because Charles is very offensive. Islam is very defensive. Who's going to be able to find their distance first? That's going to be really the fight. It's a really toss-up fight. Anybody can take that fight. Whoever can gain the distance, understand where they can find their offense, that's the guy that's going to win. Islam is going to look to set up his striking to get the takedowns and control, and Charles is going to look to do damage from every situation. And can he find his footing? Can he find the distance to land those shots? it's a really intriguing fight. It's a really fun fight to think about, and I just really want to fight these guys. That's really what's on my mind.
Do you still look at Charles as the champion right now? I mean, I was in Phoenix for that. It was just a crazy scene. If someone else is manning the scale, I don't think we have this issue coming up at all.
Yeah, of course. I think he's still champion. He was off by half a pound. I get it. No, I still think he's the champion, but I know he also wants to fight Conor. Man, as a champion, you have to fight contenders. I get it. The money, it's something you want, but bro, you're a champion. Champions fight contenders. Conor's not a contender, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but he's not. He hasn't won a fight. I don't know how long, but he hasn't, and he's injured. So you gotta take what you gotta take, And I know Islam's not a stylistic fight that he wants, maybe. Or actually, I don't know. I don't know what's on his mind, but he wants Conor. So. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Charles, I think what makes more sense to me is you fight someone else, you get the title back, and then if you really want to fight Conor, you do it when you get pay-per-view points as the champion.
Well, does he lose pay-per-view points?
They haven't clarified 100%, but I think they could. Who knows what happens, right?
I know, for example, in our contract, it says you lose pay-per-view points when you lose. So he didn't lose. He won the belt. He didn't lose a fight to lose the belt. I'm pretty sure has a pretty good argument to keep his pay-per-view points, but I don't know who his management is. Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see. And obviously, lightweight's just insane right now. Did you get to watch the fight last Saturday between Gamrot and Tsarukyan? That was an incredible fight.
Inspiring. These guys were so good. You have to understand. The difference was just game plan. It really was. Tsarukyan wanted to find his distance with the boxing and set up his kicks, and he did. Don't get me wrong, he did his thing, but Gamrot said, I'm going to continue to mix it up. I think the difference was one guy came to fight as a mixed martial artist. He continued to shoot, he continued to strike, and then Tsarukyan focused on just striking, and that's where the mistake came in. The changes, the small changes in the rhythm of the fight changed the fight. I mean, you could still make a case Tsarukyan won. Like, he dropped him, I think it was in the third or the fourth with a spinning back fist. So it's not like it was a blowout. But, man, if you have to ask me what the difference was, it was just those little things. Man, congratulations to Gamrot. And Tsarukyan, too. What a fight, man. These guys are inspiring.
And when you say inspiring, is that inspiring to know that these guys are ranked outside the top 10 and they're that good and they're all, obviously trying to build their way up, inspiring to just get in here and train harder and get better?
Both. I was like sweating, punching the air. Like, I'm telling my wife I'm going to get on the Airdyne right now. I got to do something. I can't go to sleep right now. It was such a good fight. I got up and I started exercising. It was so good. So it was both inspiring in terms of wanting to train more and also wanting to fight these guys. Like, I know it's always about the top 5, but I always say I've always fought people behind me. I have always fought people behind me. When I was ranked, I did it from beginning of my career all the way till now. I've always fought people ahead of me, people behind me. I've never complained who they give me. So, and nothing's changed.
So perfect world, just to kind of clarify to everyone watching, you are ready and available if they need someone to fight Islam. If Charles isn't available, if that fight gets booked, you are ready to fight Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, 100%. I'll fight. If Charles is not ready, I'll fight Islam for the belt. Sounds good. If not, I'll fight Dustin Poirier. Who else is there?
Chandler, Gaethje.
Yeah.
Gaethje boys, right?
Yeah, we're boys. We've talked about fighting for the title, and I think he wants to fight like end of the year too. Yeah. That's kind of far, man. I want to fight a little bit earlier. Nah, I'm not even going to say it because my manager is going to kill me. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, we'll leave the people with intrigue here to end it off. Really appreciate the time, Beneil. Glad to see you healthy and training, and hopefully you get something booked very soon.
Yeah, my pleasure, brother. Thank you.